perhaps the most expensive joke in Monsieur Hulot's Holiday is one that wasn't originally in the film. Now, I don't know about the budget breakdown for this film, I don't know what actually was the most expensive joke, but if this wasn't, it's perhaps the one that required the most attention to detail, people coming together to just make it happen. Jacques Tati went back over the years and tinkered with his films, particularly this one, quite a few times. There are a couple of different versions out there, apparently including an English dub where every voice is performed by Christopher Lee. I desperately tried to find a version of this, or at least some form of clip from it, and couldn't. I'm hoping one day I stumble across it. When first released, the film was over 10 minutes longer, had a simple piano-only score, and also didn't have a reference to Jaws. The 1978 cut, however, is what Tati saw as the definitive version and has largely been screened and in circulation since then. A couple of shots were added in and jokes were trimmed to make them tighter, prevent them from going on longer than needed, and making the film overall shorter. But a scene involving a kayak was effectively completely reshot. While shooting to fit in with the rest of the film, onlookers on the beach were now wearing clothes that would have been around 25 years out of date, alongside bits of scenery, I think, having to be recreated to keep with the 50s setting. All of this to add the simple detail of it seeming like the figure of a shark now had teeth. But it's what Tati wanted to make the gag work as best as he hoped possible, and I personally think it's one of the best jokes in the film, and people collaborated and came together to make it happen. A lot of local collaboration went into the making of Monsieur Hulot's Holiday. Residents in the seaside town of Saint-Marc-sur-Mer, I'm hoping I got that right, would play small characters, such as the ice cream cart owner effectively playing himself, or they'd help with the production. The local primary school head teacher and his wife helped out with some of the film's boat services. Tati had visited the town briefly before the Second World War and said to himself that he'd one day go back to make a film there. Apparently when scouting postcards for possible filming locations, he remembered it and the location was set, with the town being taken over for the film over the course of the summer of 1951. People came together for a depiction of different people enjoying their holiday in different ways. To link this to David Lynch and The Straight Story, which was screened before this, Lynch said that one of the things he loved in particular about Tati's work was how he depicted society and loved human nature. And to some extent, society is condensed down into this holiday resort. Tati intentionally captured a lot of what we see in long and mid shots to get the crowd and humanity going about their holidays, to make everything seem more natural, even with the cartoon-like sound effects. The film is less about people reacting to Mr. Hulot and more people interacting with each other. The head waiter at the hotel, wonderfully played by Raymond Carl, rolls his eyes at pretty much everyone, largely because he seems to feel that they're causing him more hassle. There are some who have called the film nostalgic, and maybe that was the case when first released, as France got back to its rituals in the post-war era. And even as the decades have passed, a new kind of nostalgia has grown for the simple holidays that were. For me, the nostalgia and sentimentality is wrapped up at the very end of the film as people are saying goodbye to each other. Even if they haven't had much interaction over the last week, they still give a friendly goodbye to each other. We may see some of these people as slight oddities, although generally there's something of a recognisable form to them, and while clumsy, Mr. Hulot strikes as a largely ordinary person, and there's an embracing of the various qualities we see from the recurring staff and holidaymakers throughout the film, because even if someone does roll their eyes at everything we do, or we've just nodded at them when walking past every so often, there's still a warmth to a see you next year. That feeling that these quirks and habits have been acknowledged and embraced before and will be again, I find there's a sentimentality in that. And perhaps that's Tati's love of human nature and society coming through, as he's happy to return to the faces who crop up a number of times during the holiday. And so, as an audience, let's make that return. Please enjoy Monsieur Hulot's Holiday.